Here's my one take talk about restoring my Ford Cortina over 2 decades. So we can start with some of the rot that you don't see under the wings, the headlamp bowls, some wood keeping the light in there. I did try and fiberglass these, which worked to a certain extent. So on to first the old springs with the originals and very tired. I did have some options here, some new ones there I didn't use. I used these blue ones which were the right height. Out with the bushes and ball joints. Hate taking springs apart. My least favourite jobs. You'll see the rear bushes coming out there. A sort of collection of old used bits. Nice picture of the new bushes going in. Those are the rear void bushes, and very satisfying ball joints and springs complete at the front. Picture of the rear bushes there. Onto panels. So I collected panels for a long time. There's some wings, lower valance, because close up you can kind of see how tired the car is, and the bodywork was tired, and you can see it bubbling through. Even in the boot, that panel there rusting away. But unfortunately, the more you pick, the bigger the holes become. So off come the panels, off came the valance in pieces, and we started to strip down the car and find even more holes. That's under the wings. That's the front valance. You can see great chunks of rust and crust. So I collected some parts at Auto Jumbles, but some parts I had to just purchase. So there's the A-pillars and the headlamps going back in. Very satisfying when it all comes together and the car begins to take shape again. So here's some prep, new panels going in and being prepped, the wings being prepped, and then the paint's on, and that's the paint being mopped. I got the paint done professionally, and I've got to say they did a really nice job. So there's some finalized panels and the car coming together. You saw that boot before, and there's the after. New valance on. Onto brakes. The brakes were the originals and were sticking, so Big Red to the rescue with some brand new calipers, all new old stock pipes, the brake pipes there, flexes. Onto now the brakes, and the discs were scored. We replaced all of the bearings, so there's the wheel bearings. There's some parts for replacing all the wheels. There's the new discs going on. Original wheels sourced off eBay because the sports wheels were wrong for the model. So that was a bargain. The bumper was rotting, so we found a good used second-hand one at the Auto Jumble. Onto the engine, and the valve stem oil seals needed replacing. It was burning a lot of oil, so engines apart here. Quite brave with the engine in bits. There's the head, and you can see a close-up of the head there that needed to be cleaned. And so here's a nice before shot and a nice after. So that's ready to go back on. and there's the head complete. So while the engine's apart, might as well do electronic ignition. So changed over from the points, and the car's still on electronic ignition at the moment. Engine and obviously gearbox next. The gearbox was down to the rivets on the clutch, so the clutch needed changing. You can see the clutch plate scored there, so a thrust bearing and new clutch going in. Here's me just measuring just to make sure it is the right one I've bought, and that's the clutch replaced. Next to the interior, and you can see the door cards were all rotten, tired, and the carpet was threadbare and end of life. So out with the old. Luckily I found some new old stock carpet for this model, so that was really lucky. And the carpet obviously lifts the look of the car, and the new door cards, again I think an eBay purchase, as I remember, completed the interior. The seats were all ripped and patched, so I saw some second-hand chairs and used the material to make good chairs out of what I had. So here you can see the chair coming apart and new pieces being stitched in. So kind of before and after shot. So we've got rid of all the tears. That's the seats back in. Some of the paintwork interior needed a respray, so you can see there lots of scratches. So there's a sort of before and after that got resprayed. But even today, you know, this year, 20 years on, the sender stopped working, so I had to source a new one. Actually, I had one in the attic for that, which was lucky. And again, came back to revisit the paintwork that had bubbled through. More rot, so new arch there on the near side, and that was chopped out with new metal put in and resprayed to make a really nice job. While I was taking the car apart, I did find this 1971 service document, which showed £4 to service the vehicle. There's quite a lot of history now with this vehicle, but also I've kept all the MOTs and the tax discs. In 2012, I did a magazine feature, and the company wanted to do some professional pictures, so I've added these at the end. The car doesn't look like that in real life. These are kind of arty, enhanced pictures, I'm sure. The car's a high days and holidays. It doesn't see the road daily, but it is in use and does go to the shows regularly. So I hope you enjoyed my quick 10-minute, 20-minute tour of my 2 decades pictures of restoring my 1971 Ford Cortina. I'll leave you with the brochure, which shows the base model and the L. That's my thing. I love the standard features of the car. Thanks for watching.